Boxing Voice.
All right, live with Virgil Hunter. Virgil, you're coming into with your student Andre Berto. As of late, he hasn't been successful under your tutelage. Is there any added pressure to come away with the win? Because since your merger, he hasn't been able to get in the win column?
Well, we've done one fight together. So I think that might be a little premature to say that, because he had an unfortunate injury in the Soto Carras fight where he tore his arm out, his clavicle and his labrum in the second round. So he was a one-arm fighter from that point on. I give Andre Berto a lot of credit for fighting through the pain that he fought through, only having one arm and actually going into the last round in a fight that was even. So that a setback, I consider that a move forward, because certainly I would capitalize on the fact that he probably went through his roughest moment in his career, and he went out round after round after round, hanging in there some sort of way. Is a testament to him, and it's a testament to my belief in him. So everybody, has their opinions. I'll stick with mine. I'm confident what I stick with. He was off a year because of the severity of the injury, and I felt that before he hurt the arm, particularly, he had a rough first round, but in the second round he really started putting some shots together, and I just felt that it was just a matter of time before he'd have got Carras out of there. That's my belief, and I think I can justify that by the fact that he was around for 10 more rounds in that fight, and actually put Carras down in the 11th round. So I'm really happy to have gone into a fight. I'm sorry that he lost, but I'm happy to have gone into a fight with him like that, because I think that's something that we can build on.
Now, Berto's had a very grueling schedule since his fight with Victor Ortiz. After that, it was current champion IBF Jan Zavic. Then, of course, he faced Robert Guerrero, who later got a Mayweather shot, and ultimately Jesus Soto Carras, who's rugged as he showed in that fight. Now, we've seen Danny Garcia this past weekend versus Rod Salka, and the media, the experts, everyone knew that this was a soft touch that was needed after him having, 8 consecutive tough fights. Do you think that the fact that Berto has a to-be announced is an okay thing, that he needs a soft touch to just get back in the mix and, get his flow back, get his head back in the game?
Well, at this point, we don't have an opponent for him. We should have an opponent this week. And whoever the opponent is, I believe will be known to the boxing world. I never heard of the guy that Danny Garcia fought before, but I don't think Danny Garcia has to explain anything to anybody. He's had a grueling schedule also. I don't think he has to prove anything to anybody, because he's fought some of the best. And if you fought some of the best, such as Andre Berto, then there are times that you should taper it down some, even if you haven't lost. I think that it's good. We don't say anything when the major college football teams play the D3 teams in preseason. We don't say anything about that. Or the major college basketball teams play the D3 teams and blow them out by 60 and 70. We don't say anything about that. Only in boxing do we have so many experts to determine who's a soft touch and who isn't a soft touch. But we know from history that a lot of guys we thought were soft touches ended up being champions. So I think that's more of a critic thing, a media thing. I don't think the fighters are concerned about that at all, although I do believe that the fighters if they're going to aspire to be a champion, they have to fight the best. But once they fought the best and they don't have anything to prove, I think that they're entitled to fights that the critics say is a soft touch, but they know as fighters nobody is a soft touch, because if it was a soft touch, why go train? Why spend money in camp? Why get up in the morning and run? Why go through the same routine that you went through with anybody else that's not considered a soft touch? Danny Garcia trained just as hard for Salka as he trained for Matisse. So you can't take nothing away from him. He didn't short the game. He took Salka serious, so he didn't short the game.
So basically you're in agreement that it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to get a soft touch.
Well, I'm not going to say soft touch. I can't, at this point, there wouldn't have been a real negotiation for a top fight after a year and coming back off an injury. I think it has to be considered that he's coming back off an injury, and we don't want him to be injured anymore. And he's certainly not training like he's fighting a soft touch. To us, there's a soft touch. So I don't even know what a soft touch is. You know, I know in the beginning when you have a prospect, you have A, B league, and C league. But when you get to this level, I don't know what a soft touch is, because anything can happen. So we're going to get him a competitive fight, and he's in the gym with competitive people. And that's the main thing, to get a good look at him and see where we go from there.
Now, in the past, Berto has shown an aggressive style, but he has two attributes, two characteristics in him that most fighters would die to have: power and speed. Have you guys been working on anything specific just to get him to slow down and relax a bit more so that shots could come together on their own? Because, like I said, his power, he's proved that with Freddie Hernandez and Quintana, even Victor Ortiz putting him down. Like you said, Carras, he clearly has power and speed, and those are two, great attributes. Have you been working on anything to slow him down just so that he can be able to use those tools a little more effectively?
Well, I think in Andre's case, it starts upstairs, and really a lot of that is not his fault. I agree with you. He does have quite a bit of weaponry in his repertoire, and I think that the problem is that he didn't know which weapon to pull out at the right time, and he didn't know his position in the ring. So I can't blame that on him, but these are the things that we're working on right now. His physicality is there, speaks for itself. So his IQ of boxing and his mentality has been our focus, and I'm really happy with his commitment and the fact that he has into the theory of reinventing himself, so to speak, without compromising who he is, and to begin to get his own identity. So the only way you can see, in effect, how these things have really taken place the way you need them is, I'm seeing them yet. We have to see it in the fight. So I think I can probably answer that question better after he fights, but I'm excited for him.
All right, my final question before I switch over to my co-host, Joe Habib. Berto, the Mayweather fight escaped him in his loss to Victor Ortiz. Then when he lost to Robert Guerrero got a Mayweather fight. You've been with him now probably a year or better. Do you see anything in the gym? Do you see not only the determination, but can possibly reach that status where he was at a few years ago amongst the fans' eyes and the media's eyes? Because the Mayweather fight was a thing that the public wanted before the Victor Ortiz fight, and they still would have accepted it had he beat Robert Guerrero. Do you feel that he'll be able to get back on that status level?
I think so. Contrary to what most people think, that maybe he's been in some tough fights, but I think so, because he had an upside. He had more to offer in my opinion. And if we go about it right and nurture it right and till the soil right, so to speak, I think that he'll emerge as a force once again and be educated force, knowing, like I said in the last statement, knowing exactly what to do and be competitive and dangerous for any opponent, be it the best or be it in the top 10. That's what we're reaching for. That's where the bar is set. So, like I said, the physicality, the speed, the power, it's there. It's just a matter of him understanding how to use it and when to use it. So we're working hard and we're excited.
The Boxing Voice.